So that this is 4y equals negative 5x plus 32. The second one, yeah, you should be writing on paper, by the way. It shouldn't take up a whole lot of space. This one would then be 5y is equal to negative 4x plus 20. This one is going to be negative 4x plus 30 is equal to negative 5y. And then this one is going to be 4y is equal to 5x minus 4. Okay, that's fine, but I still don't have the slopes. Why don't I have the slopes? Because I haven't divided by the coefficient yet. Now, I don't really care about the other number, but what I do care about is what numbers with the fraction, or with the x, I'm sorry. I'm paying attention to the number with the x. Again, I'm paying attention to the number with the x. So if I look at this, this is negative 5 over 4. Is that the same thing? No. This is negative 4 over 4, which is going to be equal to negative 1. Is that the same thing? No. This is a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive. Four over 5. And this is 5 over 4. Did I miss something along my way? Perpendicular minus 5x minus 4x minus 4x plus 5x. y, 5y. Well, that one, I think I need to report a bug. Because none of them are going to be perpendicular. None of them are going to be negative 4 over 5. So I'm going to report a bug. Okay, so Let's try and do a couple of these equations, a couple of these kind of problems, so that you can understand how to do the parallel and perpendicular equations on DeltaMath. So, first things first, which one represents a line that is parallel to y equals and a number? So, very quickly, everything that is y equals, that's going to be every single point where y is equal to 0. Well, here is y equals 0, here, 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 all of these points. So it makes a horizontal line at 0. So we are looking for a horizontal line. Well, this is going to be a vertical line because x equals is going to draw a line vertically. X equals something with y. This one I would actually change it around so that it would be y equals, and it's going to be y equals, because I'm going to divide by 3, a negative 3, a negative 1/3 x. So the slope is negative 1/3, which isn't 0. Here it has a slope of 1, which isn't going to be a flat line. Here, oh wait, here's another y equals equation. Now what would be perpendicular to this would be an x equal question. But this is going to be a y equals, they are parallel. Let's look at the next problem. Okay. So when it looks like this, it's much easier. And I have no problem if you guys want to skip ahead or like skip this question or give up when you get to this, because this is a much easier version, okay? Let me say this again. This is a much easier version. The first thing you need to do is move the x term to the right by doing the opposite operation. That gives us 5y is equal to negative 4x plus 10. Divide it by 5. That means y is equal to negative 4/5 x plus 2. Now, I don't really care about what this other number is. What I care about is the slope, which is negative 4/5 x. Now, it says it's parallel to it, so it is going to be equal to it. So I'm trying to find an equation that has negative 4/5 in front of the x. Well, this is a positive 4/5. This is its reciprocal. This is a negative 4/5. So this is going to be my correct answer. Now, if it said instead of parallel, perpendicular to this, remember one of them has to be negative, the other one has to be positive, and then they have to reciprocal one another. They have to flip around. So if it said perpendicular, this one would be the correct answer. But it doesn't. It says parallel. So I click on it, I hit submit. Yes, and hit clear. New problem. Okay, so again, I want you to move the x term to the right by doing the opposite operation. That leaves you with 3y is equal to negative 2x minus 6. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 2. So again, my slope is now negative 2/3. So now I look at each one of my equations, find the one who has negative 2/3 and submit. Now, when it becomes more difficult is when it looks like this. So in this case, you have to turn each one of these equations into y equals mx plus b format. Now, I understand. It's good practice. Once you get good at this, it shouldn't take you that very long at all. So, and it is great practice. You move the x term to the right by doing the opposite. You move the x term to the right by doing the opposite. You move the x term to the right by doing the opposite. You move the x term to the right by doing the opposite. This first equation then becomes 3y equals 5x minus 9. The second equation becomes negative 5y equals negative 3x, because we have to do the opposite, plus 40. My mouse is going out. My mouse is going out. Hi-ho the dairy-o, my mouse is going out. Okay, opposite operation. So 5y equals negative 3x plus 10. And 3y equals negative 5x plus a negative 18. Okay, then you divide by the coefficient. And really, I just care that you have done it to the first term. We could just do a long line. Remember, you have to do each term. So I am looking for perpendicular. That means one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative. This one's positive, so I'm looking for a negative slope. Well, this one's positive. This one's positive because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. This one's negative and this one's negative. So I can automatically eliminate these two. Then remember, it has to be a reciprocal. So I have to flip that over, and that becomes a negative 3/5. So I should be able to see that this is the equation with negative 3/5. That's how you do this kind of an equation, or this kind of a problem. You need to identify what the slope is of the first one, convert all of the questions by moving the x term to the right and dividing by the y coefficient each time. And you've got to practice this. Write it down on paper. Don't do it in your head. Write it down on paper. It is not difficult once you write it down. And then you figure out which one is matching.